and welcome back to my channel. This is Dr. Shabai Show. Today I want to talk about there are 8 lies that feminism has told modern women, and I want to talk about it because a lot of modern women still believe these lies and they will push down our throats, but as you realize that feminism is failing. So before we get started, please like this video, subscribe to my channel, and let's get started. So feminism had several different waves, but the most impactful here in America was the one probably in the late 1960s, early 1970s, where it was also included with the sexual revolution. And many women back then truly believed that they were second-class citizens, and feminism wanted to show them that they were not. But a lot of the promises that feminism fed to women simply did not come true. Because if you look at 2023, there was a study done by the Washington Examiner, and I'll put the article in the description box as well, with women, and so many modern day women are unhappy. They suffer from depression, they're on anxiety medicine, and it is so sad because a lot of women are in masculine roles. Like, they are the ones that go out here in the world and work and do everything. And so that's why it's important to look at the lies that feminism told women. And it's so important that we don't curse the next generation and they understand why it failed, and to prevent them from going down that same path. So when I was growing up, that commercial was very important. I remember my mom looking at it and just rolling her eyes and saying that is so unrealistic. They wanted us to believe that, yeah, as a woman, you can do everything. So the first lie that feminism told women was that they can have it all. In the beginning stages of feminism, it was also the same time as the sexual revolution. So during that time, they weren't really focused on marriage and family. They were more about your own happiness, individuality, and independence from a man. But then it later went into, oh, you can have all that stuff plus be married, have a family and children. But truth be told, as of 2023, that myth that a woman can have it all is simply failing. Because most likely, if a woman is chasing her career, she is not really focused on a marriage and having children. And in fact, as time has gone on, women are having children by themselves and at a later time in their life because they were so focused on their career. So that's why they say a woman can't have it all. So if a woman gets married in her 20s and she goes to college and then she tries to get her career started, typically it's better for her and the family that she stays home. So I've never really seen a lot of successful women who are super successful and they have a super successful marriage and home life. Something is going to give. You cannot have as total equal balance in it all, because most likely somebody is going to have to make the sacrifice. If you're at work all the time, someone has to be raising the children. Either it's going to be your spouse, or it's going to be daycare, or somebody else, or so that's the first myth. A woman simply cannot have it all. Lie number 2 is that men or women are the same. We all know that simply is not true. Now, of course, we have a lot of women who have taken on a lot of masculine traits, and we have some men who have taken on some feminine traits. However, it is important to know that they're fundamentally different. And there's also been research done the difference between a man and a female. So let's talk about their values. So a man typically gets a sense of self that's defined from his ability to achieve results. And that's typically working hard through success and making money and accomplishment. And to feel good about himself, he must achieve those goals. And that's what a lot of feminine women are attracted to, men who simply are successful and who have high self-esteem. And for men, doing things for themselves is a symbol of efficiency and power and competence. And this is important to men. In general, men are more interested in objects and things rather than people and feelings. Most men prefer not to talk about their problems unless they're talking to an expert. But for women, women value love, communication, beauty, and relationship. And typically, a woman's sense of self, and I should say a feminine woman's sense of self, is defined through their feeling and their quality of their relationship. So what's important to a woman is nurturing and having a good relationship or having a good home. They spend much of their time supporting, nurturing, and helping each other. They experience fulfillment through sharing and relating and their personal expression. So that is the big difference between the two. And I'm not going to get spiritual, but when God created man and woman, it is to enhance the other. It's important to women to have someone who can kind of bring them back, because our emotions, you should never be ruled by our emotions. And that's why it's so important to have that balance where you have the logic and then you also have feeling, and that's where you come together in between. So that's the lie that feminism tells. So the third lie that feminism has told women is that the more that they achieve in life, such as education and success, the more that a man would find them desirable. I have heard so many women say, when someone asks them, what do you bring to the table? Oh, well, I have a degree and I have a great job and I have my own house, I own my own car. And many men will think to themselves, okay, I mean, well, how does that affect me? How are you going to make my life better? It is so strange how some women really just don't understand what it is that men want. I mean, most men, black and white, are typically very conservative. They still want to be the head of the household. So that's another myth that modern day women need to really understand, that that's a lie. And so the lie number four is the denial of maternity. So many women postpone getting married and having children. They wanted to pursue personal and career goals. Now, any doctor will tell you that most women are the most fertile during their 20s and early 30s. Anything after that, your risk goes up for complication. And then there's this myth and lie that, oh yeah, I can do whatever I want to until, when I'm ready to settle down in my, late 30s and 40s, that marriage and children, it will be there. And so we're seeing today that a lot of women are having a hard time finding someone to settle down with as they get older, because most men want a woman who is in her prime, in her 20s, and when it comes to the dating marketplace, Men will tell you in their 30s, they don't want to date someone that's their same age. They want to date someone 10 or 15 years younger. And so men in their 40s also want to date someone that's 10 or 15 years younger, especially if they have been working very hard and now they're ready to settle down. And so this poses a problem for older women who are seeking husband because the pool is smaller now since you waited until you got older. And so some women are going to fertility banks to get pregnant, not necessarily find a husband, but to have a child, or have a baby with someone they necessarily didn't want to be with, but they wanted to have a child. And so those are things that they never even considered when they were telling women, oh, yeah, focus on your career, focus on having children later. When a woman has a child over the age of 40, it does increases their chances of having a child with Down syndrome. And that is something that is never ever really talked about. It isn't. I think that younger women need to understand that don't waste your pretty in your 20s and your 30s, really your 20s. Your early 20s is when you should be looking for your husband and having, those children at a younger age, because you don't want to be looking for a husband in your 40s because it might be too late. So, younger women, please, please take note of this. Start in your 20s trying to build that life that you want. And there's certain things that you have to do, and that's a whole nother video. But you want to set the plan in motion in your early 20s so you won't be that 50 or 60-year-old struggling and not having a husband to rely on. So, if you stayed with me till the end, I just want to say thank you so, 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 so much. You are totally appreciated. And I'm going to do part two in a couple of days. So please stay tuned. Please like my videos, subscribe to my channel, and please leave a comment. Thank you.